Fish will always be one of my favorite foods, but unfortunately fish has become so enormously expensive. I've been spending a lot of time figuring out ways to stretch a small piece of fish. Now, one of the first basic things that you must remember when you bring fish home is never just bung it in the fridge in the little bag or whatever you bought it in. Bring it home, put it on a clean plate, and you can put a tiny little bit of our seasoned sea salt over it. Not too much, just a bit. The salt acts as a preservative. And then the next thing, you cover it with cling film, and you take an ice brick and you put that on the fish. And this is how you keep your fish colder than fridge temperature, but not frozen. Now here you've got this perfectly preserved piece of fish. We bought this yesterday, so it will sit. If the fish is really fresh, it can happily sit for a day, or at the worst for a day or two in the fridge. Now the other secret to cooking fish is if you overcook fish, it's like chicken breasts. It will go completely dry. But what you need to do is to make sure that the whole fillet is the same thickness. Now you can see at the shoulder part here we've got a very, very thick piece, and at the tail end we've got an extremely thin piece. So what we do is just cut off the tail end, which is more or less even thickness, and then this portion here is also fine, and then this thicker piece, butterfly that thick piece of fish open, so that you end up with a piece of fish of uniform thickness. Now I've got a piece of fish the same thickness. Then we cut that into portions. Now I'm trying to stretch this fish to feed 6 people. And we've got a buttered oven-proof dish here, and we just lay the fillets in the dish. There you are, sweetheart. Spread them out. I know the dish looks too big for the fish at this stage, but you'll see just now what we're going to do to pad this fish a little bit. So now that you've filleted the fish, you take some of our lemon pepper and sprinkle that over. Take a bit of olive oil, just drizzle that over, and turn the fish in the olive oil so that you coat both sides with the oil. Now this is going to go in the oven, and then the topping is going to go on. But in the meantime, I'll show you how to do the topping, because we've got some fish in the oven ready for the topping. So all you do is you bake that fish plain as it is. Then we're going to put a divine souffle topping with a mustard flavor and with cheese in. Now mustard and cheese are also partners made in heaven. Now remember, if you want to do a souffle, anything to do with egg white, you make absolutely sure that your bowl is 100% clean. Just clean that bowl with a little bit of half a lemon cut up. Then in this mixing bowl, I've got mature cheddar cheese. To that mature cheddar cheese, let's add the sauce first. This is our mustard sauce. Honestly, we revamped this sauce, and I really think it's particularly good now. I've been cooking mustard sauce with everything. So mustard sauce goes in, and then we separate the eggs. Egg whites go in there. Come, sweetheart. Please make sure you don't get a speck of the yolk into the whites, otherwise it won't whip up. And I see these are brown eggs. Now, there's no difference in taste or nutritional value or anything between brown and white eggs. It just depends on the breed of chicken. So leave this to last, and we mix this together. The egg yolk, the mustard sauce, the cheese. Couldn't be simpler. Right. Now we beat the egg white. Always when you're going to beat anything that wants to move around, just put a damp cloth down on your work surface first. Now you can use an electric beater, you can use a wire whisk, but this is my favorite instrument. It's out of the ark, but it's one of these old hand beaters. And if you buy one, find one with a handle at the top so you can exert pressure. These ones with the handle on the side is unbelievably uncomfortable to use, and you just whiz away until you get nice stiffly beaten egg white. Now here's the egg white. You can see firmly beaten, but not too dry. It's just, you can see that little peak that it forms. That's dead right. Now, when you fold in egg whites, always do it in 2 stages. The first stage to soften the mixture, and the next stage to try and keep as much of the air that you've beaten into that. So just fold this through lightly. Oh, this looks so good. I'm trying to find a disadvantage to this dish. The only disadvantage is that when it comes out of the oven and it's all beautifully puffy, it is actually a good thing to put it on the table straight away. It will stand, but it doesn't look quite as glamorous. So the rest of the egg white, every little scrap goes in. And now gently fold. Can you see? Fold from the middle to the sides, and you fold in. There you are. This looks right. So all we do now is we spoon this mustard souffle over the fish, and it goes back in the oven for a short while just to cook that souffle. Okay, now we put this baby into the oven. Just to get the souffle mixture to puff up nicely. Now can you see what I mean? This looks like a very, very generous serving, and there are 6 portions there, and if you serve it with some lovely potatoes and a nice salad, then everybody's happy.